Welcome to the Game Recap channel. Today we will review a short summary of the game Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. The game begins with Samus's arrival on the planet. After leaving her ship, she joins the battle and helps the soldiers repel the enemy offensive. Making her way deep into the base, Samus finds a squad protecting a mysterious artifact. During the firefight, the artifact breaks free from its protection and begins to activate. As a result, Samus is transported to the Tower of Time. Once inside, Samus moves to another dimension where she obtains a physical crystal. Afterward, Samus climbs to the top of the tower, where a mysterious creature awaits her. From it, we learn that Samus must find the other fragments of the crystal to unlock its full power. Having finished its tale, the mysterious creature teleports Samus to the first shard. While exploring the new location, Samus encounters Engineer Mackenzie, whom she rescues from an attack by wild creatures. After saving him, Samus receives an upgrade for her cannon. Moving further, they reach a massive building. Once inside, they find a robot that the engineer was creating. To understand what is happening, we move further. In another room, we find a control panel that Samus can interact with. With her help, the engineer begins deciphering the alien language and takes the panel under his control. Reaching a new hologram, Samus learns that she needs to find stones with which she can obtain the memory fruit. To get the stones, Samus heads to the next room where she enters a battle with a giant plant. Defeating it, Samus receives a new upgrade and obtains the first access key for the teleport. After bringing the stones to the altar, Samus receives the memory fruit. Returning to the engineer, Samus learns that we are currently in an unknown location. However, this planet can be left, and for that we need to collect 5 access keys for the teleport. Joining forces with the engineer, Samus continues to explore the complex. Reaching a massive cannon, Samus loads herself into it and shoots herself out. In this way, she travels to another place that resembles a desert. Reaching the next vision, Samus learns that this civilization passed through the stage of a mechanical era. To make it easier for Samus, she needs to find a motorcycle in this complex that these creatures created. Realizing this, Samus enters the electric forge. Inside, Samus finds the motorcycle. However, to use it, Samus needs to restore power to the complex. After restoring the power, Samus receives a new suit with which she mounts the motorcycle. On the motorcycle, Samus travels to a new location where she encounters the enemy soldier, Psylocke. Defeating him, Samus obtains physical boots and receives the second key for the teleport. Returning to the engineer, Samus receives a chip from him, thanks to which she can use other types of projectiles from her cannon. Next, Samus sets off for the icy belt, where she is attacked by a pack of wolves. When Samus is cornered, a barrage from a castle helps her escape. After reaching it, Samus learns that she was aided by a sniper who had been stranded there. With his help, Samus restores power to the complex. Exploring the complex, Samus learns that these creatures conducted experiments on other life forms, but their experiment failed. Advancing deep into the complex, Samus destroys these creatures. After helping the sniper fight them off, Samus heads to the hall where she begins a battle with Kratos. Defeating him, Samus receives another modification and the next teleport key. Returning to the engineer, Samus gives him her discovery. Having studied it, he gives Samus a new type of ammunition. With this, Samus sets off further, where she sees the next vision. From it, Samus learns that these creatures mutated because of an unknown rain. To find out more, Samus heads to the forge. Inside, she finds Sergeant Duke. Together, they decide to save one more soldier. After rescuing Armstrong, they set out to remove the protection from the cannon, which triggers the unknown rain. To deal with this, they split up, and Samus heads to the cannon where she begins a battle with Fenoros. Defeating him, Samus obtains one more key for the teleport. Afterward, Samus heads to Duke and Armstrong. Reuniting, Samus decides to manually launch an escape pod and save the soldiers. Once the soldiers have left the complex, Samus also manages to escape using her motorcycle. Returning to the base, Samus meets everyone she has seen before. After receiving another upgrade from the engineer, Samus finds a battle golem. Having activated it, Samus explores a new complex. Reaching the next vision, Samus learns that the crystals in their heads help these creatures retain their sanity. However, the green energy is growing stronger and the crystals have stopped helping. Next, Samus joins the team and activates the elevator. At that moment, unknown creatures begin to attack them. Fighting them off, the team waits for the elevator to arrive. Samus takes Duke and Armstrong with her, and they descend, while the golem and the sniper hold off the offensive. After descending, they find themselves in a massive shaft. Reaching the control panel, they realize that without the elevator, they will have to find another path to reach the access key. To advance further, they head to a giant drill. After starting it, they drill a passage while Samus and Armstrong fend off the offensive of unknown creatures. Samus and Armstrong jump into the hole they dug, but Duke remains above to hold back the unknown creatures and buy time for them. This worries Armstrong greatly, but she pulls herself together, and they move on. To open a path, Samus holds back the enemies while Armstrong drills a new path. Reaching the door where the key is located, Samus heads inside. Realizing that the unknown creatures are continuing their offensive, Armstrong, just like Duke, decides to collapse the path and buy time for Samus. When Samus fails to save Armstrong, she moves on. Exploring the complex, she meets a robot, and together they fight through the enemies. In the end, this robot hurls Samus to the other side while staying behind to hold back the enemies. Moving further, Samus enters a battle with the Omega Griever. Defeating it, Samus takes the teleport key and heads to the elevator to leave the complex. Unexpectedly, Samus learns that Duke, Armstrong, and even the robot survived, and they ascend to the surface together. Having reached the top, they find the sniper, and they all return to the base together. To obtain the required container, Samus enters a battle with Varmis. Defeating him, Samus creates an explosion that finally destroys the monster. Later, Samus encounters the sniper several times, who tells her about his past and gives Samus unknown parts that he found himself. After showing them to the engineer, Samus receives a pocket teleport that can quickly teleport items to their base. Using this teleport, Samus finds the wreckage of a massive robot and returns it to the base. After receiving all the parts, the engineer manages to repair the giant robot, which is meant to destroy the protective barrier around the castle. Before starting the operation, Samus reaches another vision from which she learns that all the unknown creatures have set out to find her, and only one remains on this planet. Additionally, we learn that no one ever returned from their mission. After this, Samus receives the memory fruit and a new suit. Next, Samus joins the team and they set out to storm the castle. Reaching it, the massive robot activates its cannon and fires at the barrier. To finally destroy it, they have to use 100% of the power. However, because of this, the massive robot explodes. The team remains unharmed, but the engineer is saddened by the loss of his creation. Armstrong comforts him, and they head to the castle. Once inside, the team sees a final vision. In it, the last unknown creature leaves its will so that Samus can save them. Having ascended to the top, Samus summons a portal. However, when Samus tries to activate it, she feels pain and sees memories of the past. From them, we learn that one of the soldiers hated Samus and refused her help. After this man wakes from his sleep and plans to destroy Samus and the entire team. To stop Silox, the whole team unites and the battle begins. As it turned out, all previous versions of Silox that Samus fought were fakes. During the fight, Silox opens a portal and takes Samus with him. Inside it, they continue the battle, during which Silox becomes overloaded and falls into an abyss. After returning to the team, Samus finds the coordinates of their home planet and begins the activation of the teleport. At the moment of its activation, Silox returns and attacks Samus. To stop him, the team enters the battle and leaves Samus so that she can return home. As it turned out, only Samus can activate the portal. Even though she is leaving her friends and the team to certain death, she activates the portal and transports to her planet. At the last moment before the jump, she catches the sniper's pendant, which he received from his father. Hearing the final words of her comrades, Samus leaves the planet. After transporting, Samus buries the memory fruit and returns the physical crystal. With its help, the memory fruit begins to grow. Leaving the sniper's pendant on the tree, Samus completes her mission. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video on the Game Recap channel.